first half as well?
This one's full. Just got it. Okay, questions?
Did you start pointing just to kind of mix things up?
Yeah, I mean, I went to Scoot today and just said, listen, I'd like to give Q an opportunity, and I want you to tell him that he's going to start today. And so he did, and I thought Scoot handled it really well. He struggled a little bit. He's not making the same shots he was making before, and just trying to loosen him up a little bit to watch the game from the bench for a few minutes. And but I think I might try this again with other guys as well. Rylier was banged up a little bit today, and maybe we'll give him a chance to start the game off. I'd like to try to do it with a number of different positions. But as you saw, in the end, it was the 5 guys who have been playing the most they finished the game. So, and that's critically important. Who starts has never been an issue for me, but I thought Scooty handled it well. But he's got to make shots for us to be as good as we can be.
Are you expecting them to start on Wednesday?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I haven't really decided, and it's important to others. I can't tell you how unimportant it is to me. When it comes crunch time, you want the best players out there. And again, Scoot's struggling a little bit, and he'll be the first one to tell you. But at this point, he's my son, and I'm going to try to guide him through it.
They shot 34%. Is that mostly what you guys did, or no?
They shot 34%. Yeah, I thought we defended well. I thought we let Lowe up for air a couple of times in the first half for threes. And he's a good shooter. I thought we defended the 3 very, very well, except for the one time where Mitchell got it late in the game. I think we may have, when Khalif makes his impossible shot from the corner that puts us up 7, I believe. Is that correct? And then we don't step out and prevent Mitchell from making that 3 late in the game. And I think it was Mitchell's only basket of the game as well. He's a really good player. He's been struggling because he's hurt. He was hurt early and probably still working into game shape at this point. But I thought our defense was pretty good, as evidenced by the 34%.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You talk about the importance of breaking the 2-game skid.
Say that again?
You talk about the importance of breaking that 2-game skid that you're on.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is that every game is so critical in this league, and every game is so critical to your final goal of trying to get to the NCAA tournament. And we now have 14 league games left, and every one of them is going to be an absolute battle, as you can see, as evidenced by today. We'll have a big week. We're finally going to get a day off tomorrow, which is important for our guys, and then we'll have a big week coming up with GW and St. Bonaventure. We need to win every game we can. So to eliminate the 2-game slide is important as well. But they were 2 really good teams away from home, and I didn't think we played particularly well at Xavier, and I would give Xavier a lot of credit for that. They really came after us.
I think what was it for you guys to hold them to 34.5% shooting? You beat them essentially at their own game. That's usually they're in that high 30s range, and then you guys come out and shoot 54.2% in the first half. I mean, is that just to win this game and win it in that fashion? For you guys to snap out of that way?
Well, they're really a good team. They are a very, very well coached team. Great on the defensive end and hard to guard in some respects on the offensive end. So we switched a lot. As you saw, there were probably a lot of guard on bigs matchup out there. But at some point, you just say, hey, let's try to be tougher than them. I wish that we had stopped a couple of follow-ups that they had late that would have made our job a little bit easier. But I was pleased with the win, certainly, and I was pleased overall with our defense and how we guarded.
You guys are used to playing defense, all right, with the switching. Sometimes there are mismatches, and the guys just kind of live with it and stick with them. Do the guys kind of feed off of that sometimes?
Yeah.
If there's a mismatch and they stop somebody?
I think that sometimes just if they only get a 2, that's a victory. But also what it does when you switch as much as we do gives you an opportunity to communicate much better than you would if you're staying with your man all the time. So while coaches sometimes don't like it, it is something that the kids like to do, but it's a great communicator out there, and I think that's what we have to do, our team, in order to be the best we can be.
Coach, it seems like in the first couple of games of this season, In the first half of the game, the guys kind of struggled to find out who's going to step up and be that leader. How important is it for your team going into the conference play to have a strong first half?
Well, I think it's very critical, and we also have to find a couple of other guys who can step up. Like Scooty initially was stepping up, and now he's in a little bit of a rut here. We got to get him out because we're going to need that. Raleigh made just an unbelievable runner in the lane. I don't know what to call it. It was a left-hand 7.5-foot layup that somehow made it in the basket, but we need Ra to make some mid-range jump shots. So there's a lot of things that are going on with that. Jake, I thought, had a big 3 in the first half, and he had a great 2-point jumper, a mid-range jumper that we talked about at halftime that we're probably going to need. Was in and out of the basket. So I think we're the kind of team that can't rely on one guy. Khalif can't carry the load offensively for us. I thought Anthony Lee had a great game today. 20 and 10 is pretty impressive night for him.
How big has he been for you guys?
Yeah.
20 and 10, you guys don't have a ton of front court depth, and for him to do that against that front court and to stay on the floor and play 33 minutes as well.
Yeah, it's very important. He's playing a little bit sort of playing too many minutes at this point. I need to give him a little bit of a break in there, but it's hard to take him out when he is an inside presence for us. He had one great jump hook in the lane, banked it, and ball somehow found a way to stay in the basket. We had a couple of easy, very lucky baskets. Will Cummings threw one on the flat part of the rim, just kind of hung there for a stretch and dropped in. That was a lucky shot. Khalif's was a lucky shot. So maybe we were due for a little luck.
More questions?
Thank you.